Hey Commanders fans, today I'm here to talk about something that's been heating up behind the scenes. You saw the last game against the Giants. It was the kind of victory we celebrate, but with that strange feeling like it was a close one, but we got it. And look, believe me, we need to talk about the offense. Yes, that's right. The Commanders' offense needs to adjust some things if we want to see this team flying higher. That close game brought some lessons, and I'm going to tell you all about it. So subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. Let's start with the basics. The scoreboard. Did you see how the game was practically decided only by the kicks of our new kicker, Austin Seibert? Man, he was giant, hit all 7 field goals and secured our victory. The first for Dan Quinn as head coach, and I confess that this victory was a huge relief, because nobody wants to see the team start the season 0-2. But if we're being honest, the offense is lacking. We're missing that efficiency we need, especially in the red zone. Now, before you think I'm being negative, hold on. We had some positive points. Brian Robinson Jr. ran well, Zach Ertz and Noah Brown made good plays, and even Benjamin St-Juste, who was kind of pressured, did his job. And Jaden Daniels, our rookie quarterback, may not have been perfect, but he showed resilience. He made some important plays and managed to keep the team in the fight. Looking back, we have to admit that luck also played in our favor. Graham Gano, the Giants' kicker, got injured early in the game. And, let's face it, that had a huge impact on their performance. And of course, there was that little help from destiny when Malik Neighbors dropped an important pass and Drew Phillips was penalized on a very questionable holding call. But it's like they say, football is like that. Injuries, mistakes, and penalties are part of the game. The problem is that we can't depend on that all the time. We need to be more consistent, especially on offense. And speaking of consistency, here comes the point that worries me. The red zone. We need to be much more efficient there. It's frustrating to see the team get there and come out with just a field goal. And the problem is not just the offense, huh? The defense hasn't been holding up so well when the opponent enters our red zone either. We know that this area of the field defines games, and if we don't fix this, it's going to be complicated to compete with stronger teams. But wait, let me tell you something that a lot of people are forgetting to comment on. Besides the red zone, there is another problem that may seem smaller, but it is hurting the team. Our performance on first down. Did you know that the Commanders' offense ran 30 first down plays against the Giants? And of those 33 were penalties, and one was the kneel down at the end of the first half. When you take that out of the equation, the average yards per play on first down was 4.7 yards. Sounds good, right? But wait, there's more. If we include the penalties, that average drops to 4.2 yards. And that's where the problem begins. At first glance, 4.2 may still seem reasonable, but if you're committing penalties every 2 or 3 plays, it becomes a nightmare. And that was the case against the Giants. The team was penalized too much, and even when we managed to gain some yards on first down, those mistakes nullified any progress. This has to stop. Another thing that bothered me were the short passes Daniels attempted on first down. The famous bubble screens. Guys, there were 5 attempts and only one of them worked, for 8 yards, late in the game. The others resulted in lost yardage. I understand the idea of using these plays to try to fool the defense, but if they're not working, why insist so much? Especially when we know that Daniels does much better throwing the ball deep, as he showed on some plays to Zach Ertz and Noah Brown. Now seriously, if you have a quarterback who does well throwing the ball downfield, why not use that more? This type of pass can open up the opposing defense and give our runners and receivers much more room to work. And that's what I hope to see in the next few games. Fewer bubble screens and more long passes on first down. Who agrees with me? Leave it in the comments. Another thing I'm keeping an eye on is the balance of the offense. Cliff Kingsbury, the offensive coordinator, did an interesting job in this last game. There were 15 runs and 14 passes on first down, an almost 50-50 split. This shows that he's trying to keep the offense unpredictable, which is good. However, as I said, the execution on short passing plays is leaving something to be desired. We have to find a way to optimize this type of play, or simply change the strategy. Before I forget, it wasn't just the offense that had problems. The defense also needs to improve, especially when the opponent enters our red zone. We're giving up too much space, and stronger teams will know how to take advantage of that. But I'm going to be optimistic here and say that I believe Dan Quinn will adjust these flaws in the coming weeks. He's just getting started, and we've already seen that he knows how to command a strong defense. First of all, let's talk about the game against the Giants. Washington won 21-18, but it wasn't easy. In fact, it was one of those games where you celebrate, but leave the stadium thinking, how did we win that? And the answer? A kicker who was unemployed a week ago. Austin Seibert, the unexpected hero, put the ball between the posts and secured this hard-fought victory. But hold on, there's more to it than that. The reason we need an unemployed kicker to save us is that our offense, led by Jaden Daniels, simply stumbled several times in the red zone. Man, we got there so many times it seemed like a joke, and we couldn't turn that into touchdowns. There were moments of tension with every drive, every frustrated attempt. Anyone who was watching, like me, knows that the heart couldn't take it anymore. It felt like we were sabotaging ourselves. But a win is a win, right? Especially for a team like ours that is undergoing a major overhaul. Now let's talk about our dear Jaden Daniels. The guy is still getting used to the rhythm of the NFL, it's true. He himself said, "It wasn't the prettiest game, but we won." And look, that pretty much sums up what this match was. Daniels survived. And that's what matters, because we know that every week is a battle for him. But as he learns and improves, it will be like this, ups and downs. However, the important thing is that we are seeing progress. One thing we have to remember is that wins haven't been frequent here in Washington. This was the first home win since November 2023. Can you believe it? So when we win, even if it's with drama and suffering, we have to value it. And more, if we want to see Coach Dan Quinn and General Manager Adam Peters gain the trust of the fans, there will have to be games like this, with an exciting finish and a decisive field goal in the last second. Austin Seibert's story is one for the movies. The guy was unemployed last week and now holds the franchise record for field goals. But as incredible as his performance was, the real focus of our season is Jaden Daniels. And that's who we're going to be talking about a lot from now on. The future of the Commanders is in this kid's hands. And even though he didn't throw any touchdowns today, we know it's only a matter of time before he starts to shine. Now, let me pause for a moment to comment on a point that is generating discussion. Is Jaden Daniels running too much? It's a valid debate, because he's already rushed for 132 yards in 2 games. And that's no small feat. The guy is fast, he has incredible field vision, but is he putting himself at too much risk? After all, it's his second game in the NFL, and he hasn't committed a single turnover yet. Impressive, right? Daniels has shown himself to be a leader on the field, and that was clear when he ran for 14 yards on a 3rd and 13. He could have thrown himself to the ground and avoided contact, but he decided to fight for 1 more yard. The problem? He took a beating. And that's when the fan, like me, gets his heart in his hand. He can't possibly get hurt in week 2, right? But calm down. He's fine. Daniels is back in the game, and the team continues to believe in him. We know that as a rookie, Daniels still has a lot to learn, and this question of running and taking risks is part of the process. But honestly, I hope he starts thinking more about the future and less about the moment. He's already been sacked 5 times, which shows he needs to improve his decision-making, and sometimes throwing the ball away might be the best option. One point that needs to be improved urgently is the performance in the red zone. There's no point in getting there so many times and coming away empty-handed. Daniels knows this and is frustrated with the team's performance in this regard. Just to give you an idea, there were 6 trips to the red zone and no touchdowns. This cannot happen if we want to go far this season. Even so, what impressed me the most was Daniels' resilience. Even with all the problems, he kept his head in the game, and at the end of the game, made an incredible pass to Noah Brown, which resulted in a 34-yard gain. That was the play that set up the game-winning field goal. Moments like these are where great players make their name in the league, and Daniels is starting to show that he has that potential. Now, fan, I want to hear from you. Is Jaden Daniels on the right track to becoming our franchise quarterback, or does he still have a lot to prove? The answer is not simple, and I'll tell you why. The NFL is a field of weekly battles, and each game is a new story. What we saw this Sunday was an important chapter, but it is far from the end. So, if you liked this analysis, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment below. I want to know your opinion, mainly about the future of Jaden Daniels. Will he be the leader the Commanders need so much, or will we continue to suffer with this roller coaster of emotions? Stay tuned. Now, are you ready to see what lies ahead? Because, just like Jaden Daniels, we are also at the beginning of a long journey. And believe me, there will be a lot to discuss in the next few games.